Hello, guys. It's now August 13, 2020. It's actually Friday. It's Thursday, and you're watching the Awesome 10X Live with me for a global market update, August 13, Thursday. So let us start. This is the charts last night. We actually got a green day. The Dow Jones was up 300 points. Nasdaq was still up 300 points, 2% up after yesterday's 11,000 Nasdaq. Your S&P 500 at 4. You could see a 5-for-1 stock split. So that means for every Tesla share, if you have one Tesla share, they'll give you 5 shares in return of 300 shares. $300. So that's really what the Tesla this is about. So that move, of course, the Tesla fans are also trying to wait for the battery date coming out on September 22. So this move of Tesla inspired a whole onslaught of great moves for the sector. Sunrun, which actually fell a day ago, rallied back 6%. Of course, Sunrun is a very important component if your house needs a bright box or you need a Tesla Powerwall. So the solar names actually rallied: your Next Era Energy, your Enphase. So you are seeing that the solar firms have definitely rallied. I showed you a few solar firms that we own. So Canadian Solar, for solar, I'll show you all the charts. So First Solar continues higher. So after great earnings, great numbers of First Solar, you are seeing First Solar. It looks to be a small flag here and continuously stronger. So we have some picks that we truly like that continued up yesterday. We've got Serens. After a pullback move, it's up 9% at the close. And we have a few SPACs. I'm not sure if you are aware of special purpose acquisition vehicles. So Graph is a company that we do like. And it's going to be Dine Lider. So I think they will finish that on October 31. So yesterday was also up 5.7%. I would say that nevertheless, despite us getting some greens, because of course we are bullish on smart cars, solar, and the electrics. You could see that here a graph. Some of us got in at about 16 or even at 17. Some of us got here at even at 18 and then add more at 14, 15. Now it's still up. We do think that this one is all the way up for Graph Industrial, so Velodyne LiDAR. We had also gotten a bit of a shakeout, so I'm not sure if the market will fall. But you could see that this is really a source of my dilemma. You could see that Tencent is dropping ever since Trump banned Tencent. So Tencent fell from 560 to about 515. My argument is that it will translate a lot of difficulty for your Chinese names. Alibaba fell down. Of course, it rallied yesterday, but I would continue to be shy and I would lighten down these Chinese positions. Alibaba, JD, I would lighten it down. PDD, I would continue to lighten this down. So all the Chinese names, Billy, these are names that we like, but I would lighten it down. Baidu, even if they report great earnings this week, I would continually lighten it down. So my view is that your Nasdaq is temporarily too extended. And so I would reiterate my stance to lighten down and just be in a flexible position and not be at the whims of the market. We should be happy that the Tesla happened. And because Tesla happened, Sunrun, Enphase, all of these solar picks that we like still continue to go up. However, what happens if Tesla wasn't there to save the world? You have to ask yourself, if only Tesla is helping the Dow Jones rally, it is a bit of a question mark. Now, you might say, no, it wasn't just Tesla. Agree. NVIDIA had a great numbers. NVIDIA continued higher, 47. AMD continually higher. But I would argue that these are already profit-taking areas. And I did mention that the remote work seems to be getting a lot of selling offs. I still agree that is true. Take note that Zoom video hasn't broken above 250. And even if it does, there could be a lot of selling here at about 260. So please be careful and be aware that remote work is actually selling off. Okta selling off. I am quite bearish on a lot of SaaS names. People know that I am bearish on what happened here. There was a breakdown, continues to break down for Alteryx. Your MDB, MongoDB is breaking down. I would continually put a sell here and really take profit and be in cash. Now, education names, I think, has also extended itself far too far. See this downtrend line, down, down, down. Even yesterday on a 300-point move of the market, Chegg is already selling off. So I think that you have to be careful about all the bulls out there who aren't watching the charts, because I do think that there are signs that we are already probably gonna have a chop fest. I think that BYD is already in a chop fest. When I say it's a chop fest, it doesn't mean that the market would fall. It just means that it's gonna be harder for the easy money to come. So example, this was easy money, 57 to 90. That was a huge 50% win in just a few days. And then right now it's choppy. So what's happening to the wearables? Actually, wearables have already started to be a difficult money. Copen, something that I really liked, has started to double top here at about $2 and fell last night to that 161, 165 level, and now closing at 160. Nevertheless, I do believe that 140 is a very strong support. So should it fall near 140 or 150, I'd say that the true bulls, the true wearable bulls will defend Copen. And it's not too much of a problem if you're diversified. Vuzi, of course, had a great number, but still people continuously sold it. It looks like this one could fall back to about $3. I'm not sure. Or if it rallies, it's got a lot of selling at about sell pressure at about $4. I do think that these companies have great fundamentals, and so the drops, I would be more of a buyer than a seller. Are there companies that I'd like to buy? Yes, SoftBank is one of them. SFTBY. SoftBank is it has fallen from about 32 back to about 29.65. Any drops here at about 29.65 all the way to 27, I would be willing to buy this name. This is one of my shopping lists should the market fall. Now, Facebook also is a company that I like, despite that potential. So I think like if the market, if Nasdaq is a bit of a topish, then Facebook could be sold down because of that, even if I like it fundamentally. So I would wait somewhere here at about 246. So it's now 261. Sorry, I was a bit afraid. I thought there was like something. Anyway, um, 261 to 246, and even at 230, I would continuously buy Facebook for my long-term portfolio. So note that I'm buying names not for a short-term perspective. I truly want to hold winners. Therefore, it doesn't mean that I'm bearish in the index, that I will be scared. Normally, I'll be very honest here. When I'm bullish, I am actually leveraged. So when I'm a little bit less bullish, I take out all my leverage. And so I'm just 100% in. And if I am slightly less bullish, I'll be just 50% in. If I'm super bearish, then I will be 30% in. That means that I am always invested. It's either I'm invested a lot or I'm invested a little, but I'm always invested. So for Spotify, I do think that there are some people who are arguing that 280 to 300 could be slightly topish. And so although I like Spotify's future, like maybe I think it's gonna go $500 to $1,000 someday, I would say that I am long. So you could see that I'm long Spotify 150, 180. Some of us, I would buy even at 240 to 250. I'm also bullish, but I am not blind that if the markets fell, that Spotify could suddenly go to 220 or 200. I think the important thing when you're buying a company you like is that you are just not scared if the market just suddenly dropped 10%. I'll tell you that I also get shakeouts. Why? For instance, Joy Inc. Joy Inc. It fell from about 84 down to about 73. And so the return back to 80, 81, I trimmed a bit. It's a good thing that I have held a few shares further because earnings came out that YY was doing well. I will read to you the earnings today for YY Inc. YY is part of your live streaming platforms. Let me read that news for you. Earnings transcripts. So YY had a great number report. So after ours, I think YY is already trading at 84 or 85. So it's up like 5% at the close after rallying yesterday as well. So let me read for you. Joy Inc. is a global video-based social media platform. Their second quarter results are now released. Their revenues increased by 36% to about $826 million. Their net income is now $87 million compared to a net loss last year, primarily due to an impact of income from fair value changes. These are the great highlights of their second quarter. Global average mobile monthly average users have increased 21% to 457 million, among which 91% are outside of China. It tells you that YY is not a Chinese company, but a global company because only 9% is in China, 91% of which is outside China. The average mobile monthly average users of Likey has increased by 86% to 150 million from 80 million in the corresponding period of 2019. For those who aren't aware, TikTok is number one when it comes to live streaming platforms in the short form. Likey is number two. So actually, I truly love YY. In fact, I actually covered YY as one of our awesome 10x picks 2 Fridays ago. I think 3 Fridays ago. So you can check at our YouTube channel that I truly love YY from a secular trend perspective because I believe that live streaming is the way of the future. And YY controls most of the best platforms in the video live streaming segment that SoftBank doesn't own. I do believe I love platforms. That's why I like Facebook. I like SoftBank. I do like YY. Long term, I think that drops because of this US-China tension will be an opportunity. So should YY drop at about 75 or even at about so recently it fell to 73, 74. I wasn't scared that it will go back up. I just wasn't sure whether how high can it go, no? So that's why I posted my selling 80, 81, not like 73 because I knew that it will go back up. It doesn't matter. So I am bullish in the company's long-term perspectives. Maybe that 80, 81 was wrong because I could probably sell higher, maybe 90 and 100, even if I'm a bit bearish in the short term because the long-term reward of owning YY is really huge. So as a communication service, average mobile video communication service is now 204 million. The number of paid users have dropped only 2.2% to 4.1 million even during COVID time. So the decline is quite little. The average mobile monthly average users of the global live streaming services increased by 20% to 102 million. So there's 100 million, 61 million of which are outside China. So 41 million are from YY, increased 6%. 29 million are from Bigo Live, which increased by 40%. 31 million from Hago, which increased by 25%. In fact, these are already well known because downloads from Sensor Tower, statistics, Statista, all of these are your leading indicators. Even before these earnings results were coming out, we had been already bullish that YY would report good earnings. But sometimes, despite good earnings, you don't know what the market will do. So it's good that the market today agreed that these good results have to be rewarded because actually it's kind of weird that Vuzi, Limelight Networks, these are companies that we liked, but even despite their great numbers, the market still sold them down. So sometimes it's a bit weird that great numbers aren't being given great rewards. Nevertheless, secular winners will continue to be our awesome 10x picks no matter what the market says. Chief Executive Officer Mr. David Lee said that during the second quarter of 2020, we maintained our focus, empowering our live streaming and short form video dual growth engine as we continue to upgrade our platforms. Using leveraging Bigo Live, we launched a series of online charity events, including a 24-hour non-stop Globe charity concert, enhancing Bigo Live brand recognition in various markets. Bigo segment contributed more than half of the revenue of the total live streaming revenues for the first time ever. So Bigo Live is continually growing. On the short form video front, focused on cultivating Likey's global ecosystem, diversifying its content offerings. Likey's has huge growth with 150 million as of second quarter of 2020. We also paved the way for Haga's future growth, refining by So basically, live streaming is the future. And because I do believe that live streaming is the future, this tells you why I am actually bullish with Agora. API is the video communications platform for developers who wants to integrate that into their apps. So I think that Agora is a undervalued IPO here. It was an IPO somewhere during June, went as high as about 70, fell down to about 36, 35. I think that here at 39, 38, 37, I would continually buy this name. So actually, it's not quite a problem for me if I sold some YY early on, because I could use the funds in names like Agora. I could use the funds on SoftBank, which I like anyway. Or I could actually try to buy and buy some Facebook I could get it lower. So I'm not quite bearish. Maybe people might mistake that I am bearish. I am not, but I am also not bullish. So I'm like, I would say that I am less bullish than before, but I am not bearish. So I'm not just aggressive bullish. That's all. Let me now go to our chat room and hi, what levels are you watching? Okay, let's see. Are you still recommending Ballard and Neo? Like Neo. Who said I like Neo? I don't like Neo. It's a sell. Neo is a sell for me at 12, 13, 14. That is a sell. I am not bullish on Neo. This is a sell. This is like pathetic chart. And I do not believe in Neo. They had what? 10,000 vehicles? I'm not gonna be bullish on Neo. This is a sell. If you have Neo, sell it. As for Ballard, yes, Ballard, I'm a bit neutral here. So I gave some sells here at about 20, and of course this gap down 18, 16.50. We have been selling. This was a buyback for me at about 14.50 to 15.50. Yesterday, it's good to see that Ballard reinforced that support at near 7. So and then could I be wrong? Could Ballard go to 12 or 10? That's also possible. So Ballard, I've been bullish here from about 750 to 10, honestly speaking. So I've been bullish on Ballard for quite a while, since 2019, ever since the JV of Ballard with 2338, wage high power. Remember that? So I am bullish on Ballard. But the energy, fuel cell, buses, all of these, in general, I think there might be some profit taking on the way. So if Ballard rises about 17, I might sell a bit there. So I am a bit neutral for Ballard. Hi, Miss Nikki. What levels are you watching in the US for you to trim some of the gains from the stock picks? Right now, Nasdaq at 11,000. I think it is a bit toppish. So I am highly geared with technology names. So I am trying to trim some of my tech names, especially my Chinese tech names. So I think that even if I am bullish on technology in China, I am quite, I just don't like the tension. So I have been trimming some Chinese names. How do you assess your trade when it's hearing earnings announcement? Like, for example, well, to me, Jumia went 17, 18, and I think that was laughable, honestly speaking. I like Jumia at 470 to 550. In fact, at 880 and 9, I was willing to sell. So usually when I assess a company, I would check whether their e-commerce is truly doing well or just a bit of a hype. So with Jumia, we know that this company will lose money. Their e-commerce front is not as good as the rest. It's not like Pinduoduo or JD or Alibaba or so for instance, Farfetch, I published a buy on Farfetch at about 9.6, 750 to 9.6. The highest I would pay was $12. Farfetch now is about 25. I would trim at 25. It goes to 30 or 40 because I think Farfetch cannot really grow as high. It really depends. I assess my e-commerce picks based as well on a certain target in mind. I think Jumia went so far that it didn't deserve that premium. Jumia is not a Shopify. Jumia is not like an Amazon. Jumia is not an Ocado. Jumia is not a Mercado Libre. So it doesn't deserve premium. And so far, I think the reason why it dropped 20% last night was because when earnings came out, people realized, oh, this is not a good company. That's just it. But if Jumia falls back to $5, I might think about it. So it's more of a bad stock one night stand trade for me rather than a secular winner. How do you assess your trades? So Canadian Solar, I like this company. I've bought it at 22. I'm willing to buy at 24 even. I added actually 22, 24, even at 24.5. I think it closed last night 25. I'm not so selling Canadian Solar. I think that the future of Canadian Solar is brighter. So, awesome 10x class picks. You can know more about the bullishness I have with Canadian Solar. Just click awesome 10x, my deep dive on Canadian Solar. But really, it's really more of my in-depth research coverage that tells me whether I should hold the company long-term or not. Please include Tencent earnings report. Has Tencent reported earnings yet? I don't think Tencent reported earnings. Farfetch is not a long-term hold for me. I like e-commerce. Don't misunderstand me. I like e-commerce, but I think Farfetch at 25 might be pricing in every bullish report out there for e-commerce, and I don't want to speculate that it does so well. Farfetch, of course, is selling apparel, retail, luxury, sneakers. You need you need China to really deliver for Farfetch, especially those off-white series. So given that luxury has done well, I think that it should do well, but I don't think it's gonna be a blockbuster. So Farfetch went from about $7.50 to about 25, 300%. I wouldn't be so. If I still have Farfetch, I'd sell before the earnings. Maybe sell half, sell 1/4, or sell 2/3. Like I don't want to get risk that I don't want to get risk. I would buy it if it was like $12 and I would be confident. But if not now it's 25, so I wouldn't. What do you think of Graph? Graph, I am bullish. I think that by October 31, when it changes the ticker to Veladar, this one will go above $50. I'm not hyping it. I just think that Velodyne LiDAR is in 50% of all the cars out there produced. And I don't care if all the Tesla fans say that LiDAR is not important future. There's hundreds of applications of use cases for Velodyne LiDAR, not just for smart cars. It's useful in agricultural crop fields. It's useful for mining. It's useful for so for those who aren't aware, LiDAR means light detection and range. Basically, it's even even your iPad LiDAR. So the people who are not looking at that, I think, is the loser here. So I would just hold on to my Graph. To be honest, I never expected that Graph would fall in box, but I held on to it. I am so bullish with Graphs that I even bought it at 15 when I saw that it was rising already. So I averaged a bit. So I have like 18, 19, then I added at 15 to the point that my average is at 17.5. But at 16, yes, I hold my graph. It's a diversified play for me. Um, Please include Tencent earnings report. You know what? With Tencent, no matter what report they do, it's pretty much a blockbuster. I do not have they reported. Has Tencent reported? Nevertheless, whether they reported or not doesn't matter to me because we already know what's happened. PUBG Mobile has done so well. You can see already from Activision Blizzard's great report. That too. I know that the market is overextended, but I'm not too willing to sell my video games, even if it can suffer. That is a problem that it's hard to time. Secular winner, yes. So I continue to hold some video games in my portfolio. I have some Japanese games. I have some video games in Poland. I like some Polish games. I hold it. For American publishers like Activision, Blizzard, Take-Two, at VP2 and EA, I'd say that it has run up quite well. But I think that any 10 to 20% drop, people would buy it if they drop. If you hold these video game names, you don't need to panic. But I don't think that the money is wise to put because end of the day, it's an overextended play for video games. I mean, if you truly love video games, why don't you invest in it early on? Like, why aren't at this point, you'd probably be up like what, 60, 70, 100% on your video games, even if you just bought it since March, April. I don't think that, I just think that the risk reward ratio for companies I like is 50-50 at this point. Like they can go percent higher, but they can also go 10% lower. And I really don't know how to time these things. And because I don't know how to time it well, I am lightening up just in preparation for whatever happens. Yeah. So what are the sectors that I am looking at? If the market crashes, I love to still continue holding solar, so I might buy more solars. If it truly crashes, I would buy your Facebooks, your big tech. So I'm very bullish on video games. So if Nintendo fell, I would buy it. If it fell, I would continually buy these payment firms. Like if Square just suddenly fell, or if PayPal fell. I think like cashless, it's truly strong. Stone Cold did well. If Stone Cold suddenly fell, then I'll just buy Stone Cold at 45 below 40. Yeah, I am not too bullish on SaaS names. I am not too bullish on online education names. But if they fell, I'll think twice. E-commerce, I think I would always buy e-commerce. Like if Shopify fell, I would buy it. C Limited, if it falls, I'd buy C Limited. I'm not too bearish on e-commerce, even if it's overextended. I know it's overextended, so that's a bit hard. I don't know if I should sell e-commerce. Is it right? Sometimes I think I would regret if I sell e-commerce, but we'll see. Yeah, it's a bit of a dilemma. There. Okay. Thank you guys. All right. See you again tomorrow. Okay. I have picks. Like actually, even if the market is a bit toppish, I never really sold some names I have. Like I have some electric. Like I am truly impressed with this electric. I won't name it because but there's this like very fun vehicle. Okay, so there's that clue. Like I like that name. I have that fun vehicle. Thank you very much. Bye bye.